Hi, this is Mrs. Pullen, Unit 1, Lesson 7 on comparing distributions, and we're going to examine example number 2. In this problem, we're going to create a back-to-back stem and leaf plot for the following two data sets, which represent the number of rainy days in a year for Texas cities and California cities. So the first thing that we need to do is sort our data from least to greatest. So we're going to start by creating the stem plot for the Texas cities. So let's carefully label Texas so we don't get confused. And we'll do California on the other side. So the leaf can only be a single digit. So since the highest value is 105 and the lowest value is 6 or 06, our stem is going to go from 0 to 11. So let's set that up. So for Texas, you have one with 6 days, and then you have 49 days, and then you have 52 and 59. So it's nice when everything is sorted, makes life easier. Then we have 2 days that are 63, one which is 67, one which is 69, 71, 73, 77, 2 79s, 182, 184, 190, 196, and 105. So you should just make sure all of them are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yay! Make sure you have a key because sometimes students forget, and you could choose any value, and you only have to have a key for one side. So when we do 90 days, so 9/0 is equal to 90 days of rain. So for the other side, instead of increasing from lowest to highest, it's going to go the opposite direction. So it's going to go, instead of left to right, it's going to go from right to left as far as the order of the numbers. So the lowest number is 29, and then we have 31 and 32, and 2 35s, and 137. We have a 42, a 44, a 45, a 58, a 62 and a 67, a 75, a 90, a 93, and a 117. And again, you don't need to have a key on this side. So that's how a back-to-back stem plot is. So you have to kind of get used to looking at it. And when you're looking at the shape, almost notice that this is flipped over. You have to kind of flip this California over to kind of get the sense of the shape. For the second part of the problem, you're asked to go ahead and compare the actual distributions. So for Texas, what you should notice is that you have some sort of gap. 6 days could be an outlier. You would have to actually perform the test. You can be suspicious of it, but certainly there's a gap between 6 days and 49 days, which you mentioned. Without that gap, not including that 6 days, the distribution has a roughly symmetric shape. When we look at California, remember the numbers are going from lowest to highest in this direction, and we see almost a tail forming, so this is clearly right skewed, and you have to actually clearly state it. So I wrote the distribution of the number of days of rainfall for the cities in Texas has a large gap between 6 days and 49 days. Excluding the distribution of the data value of 6 days, the distribution is somewhat symmetric. The distribution for the number of days of rainfall for the cities in California is heavily skewed to the right with no gaps or outstanding features. Make sure to include context of the problem. The next thing you want to do is look at the centers, and since one of the distributions is skewed, you should use the median as a measure of the center. For California, Since they're 16 days, that means the median is between the 8th and 9th day. So you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's between 44 and 45. So the median, which we'll represent by quartile 2, is 4.5. For Texas, when we count, there are 18 days, so the median is between the 9th and 10th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's between 71 and 73, and that averages out to 72 days. You could use the range. Well, first of all, we notice, let's backtrack. We notice that Texas has a greater number of days of rain, so it has 72 compared to California of 44.5 days. The next thing you can do is either look at the range or you can look at the IQR. So I'm going to just give you the IQR. I'll let you figure it out on your own. So you can even use the calculator. So for Texas, it was 35 days, and quartile 3 was 71 days. So the IQR was 36 days, whereas for Texas, the quartile 1 was 63 days, and quartile 3 was 82 days. So its IQR was 19 days. You can see that it has less of a variation compared to California. And you say it, the variation in the number of days is greater. Again, use words of comparison for the cities in California than for Texas. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'll see you tomorrow.